Start of a new game means custom tactics. I spent about 3 hours sorting out these custom tactics, finding custom tactics I like, experimenting and learning about the player roles and how they work. And some of this I did on stream, some of this I did after, and I'm not even joking, it gave me a bit of a headache, but I finally found some 433 starting custom tactics which I really like. For the safest and cheapest FC25 coins, make sure you head on over to u7buy.com and use my code Davis at checkout for 6% off your order. The links are in the description or the pinned comment down below. Now it starts in the 433 second variation. Thought I'll just add that because the CDM is the most important role, ladies and gentlemen. Now I want to mention as well, custom tactics this year are going to be a little bit different than past years and past FIFAs because of the addition of player roles. Your players in said positions are going to have different player roles than my players, most likely anyway. But what I will do is show the tactics. I have set up a 4-3-3 balanced formation, which is the one you're seeing right now, a 4-3-3 attack and a 4-3-3 defend, all with different team tactics and then the player roles, and I'll explain. Although maybe your player roles might not be the exact same as mine, so you might have to have a few tweaks when it comes to player roles, I will explain my thought process behind it and the most important player roles that your players should have if you're thinking of using a 4-3-3 formation. Now this year you can actually copy the code for the formation as well, so whenever we get to the 4-3-3 balanced defense attack, then I will put a code on screen for you guys to copy. So for the balance, the tactical preset is of course custom, the formation 4-3-3 holding or the 4-3-3 second variation. The build up style I've got just on balance. Now I did have it on short passing, I tried it with short passing, players will come short to support the ball carrier rather than making forward runs. I tried a counter, but counter we are using for the more defensive formation, which you guys will see shortly. Balanced is just the best. I just prefer balanced personally. Defensive approach we have on 40. We're playing a little bit reserved, and in general the 4-3-3 is a very attacking formation. Just it is, right? The 4-3-3 is pretty attacking, especially the way we're lining up. So even your balanced 4-3-3, it's still going to be pretty dang attacking. So I wouldn't switch to my attacking 4-3-3 version unless you're literally 2 goals down or a goal down with 5 minutes to go. The balanced is going to be more than good enough to get you back into the game when you are only a goal behind. Now, for the player roles, and this is what is really important here. Now, you can see that without the ball, so before you go into the game, and with the ball. Now, we'll start from the goalkeeper, go up. Goalkeeper, just keep that the same. If you have like a sweeper keeper, then sure, you'll go for a sweeper keeper, but we'll just keep him on normal goalkeeper. Now, the 2 defenders, we have just got them with the normal role defenders, and sadly, both Todibo and Gomez do not have the normal defender player role. I should move my webcam down a little bit so you guys can see everything that I see. But yeah, so both my centre backs don't have the defender player role, which is unfortunate. They both have either stopper or ball playing defender. Now, you could choose one of your centre backs to be a stopper, which is an aggressive ball winning centre back who will push forward to make interceptions, intercept passes and lead to press, it says, or you can have a ball playing defender as a centre back who you're going to be pushing up with, a ball playing defender, it's in the name. Now, both of these guys don't have a defender role, which is annoying, a player role defender plus, I should say. So if you do have 2 defenders, defender player role pluses are the best. If you want, you can choose one defender to be preferably a stopper, maybe a ball playing defender, but I'd rather a stopper just because it's a tiny bit more reserved. But it is, once again, we're going to need our centre backs, our defenders to be pretty safe, pretty reserved, so we keep them on defend. Now, when it comes to the fullbacks or wing backs, whatever you want to call them, now we have Gusto, who is a wing back, and then we have Garcia, who's an attacking wing back. So I like having one player, being Gusto, who is as you can see with the ball, he's a wing back. So he's kind of just your normal right back. He'll help with defense. That's literally it. He'll help with defense. He's your normal wing back, but the attacking wing back, as you can see, Garcia is pushed significantly higher than Gusto. So how you decide which fullback is your attacking wing back or your normal wing back comes down to the forward. Now, or your wingers, I should say, comes down to your wingers. Now, preferably in this formation, you want one right winger or one left winger, one of your wingers to have the inside forward plus role and the other one to be a more so wide playmaker or a normal winger, right? So You could have 2 inside forwards, but I'd personally rather just have 1 inside forward, have a more touchline winger, which for me is a wide playmaker, and it is Brahim Diaz, and then have an inside forward, and it is Reeton. I have her focus set to attack, so she is going to be very attacking, and the side that your inside forward is on is where you'll want to have your attacking wingback. The reason behind that is because Reeton is going to be cutting inside. If you have a look at her heat map here with the attacking, she's going to be cutting inside, making runs in behind, pretty centrally sometimes. She's like an inverted winger. She's an inside forward as a description, so you want your attacking wingback to be on the overlap. So your attacking wingback might be on the right hand side because your right winger might be an inside forward, your left winger might be a wide playmaker or winger, so you'd want your left back to be a wingback, not an attacking wingback. Hopefully you guys are following. Essentially, you want your attacking wingback to be on the side that your inside forward is, rather than your wide playmaker. Now, as for striker, we've got advanced forward in the role. Like, you might have a different role for your striker, which is completely fine. But if you do have an advanced forward, I'd recommend having the focus set to attack if it's a bigger striker, like Kai Havertz. He's a taller, 6'4". He's a little bit clunkier. Now, if you were to have a Jesus or a João Felix, a more agile one, you'd want to have them as a focus complete, because they'll have a freedom to move wide. Havertz, you want to stay a little bit more central. Now, moving on into the midfield. Now, these midfield player roles are really non-negotiable. The inside forward and attacking wingback is obviously very important for how this 4-3-3 works, and you guys will see some in-game examples. But the 3 midfielders, the CDM and the 2 centre mids, is absolutely crucial, especially the holding midfielder. You want a CDM with a holding player role, and if they don't have a player role for a holding, you can still play them there, but of course you'd much rather a player with a player role plus or plus in the holding. As I said, for example, like Roberto, Roberto is an amazing pull. I'm very happy with that from my pre-order hero pack. I could make him a holding centre mid, and although he doesn't have the player role for it, he can still do the job, but you'd rather prioritize his player role plus. But nonetheless, you need a holding midfielder, you need a CDM. I have the focus set to defend. You can have it set to roaming, but I do just have it set to defend because we have got our then box to box. And what is very important with the 3 midfielders, you want a holding midfielder, a box to box midfielder, and then preferably a playmaker. But this is how our basic formation is going to work in game. This is what it's going to look like with the ball. Of course, we've got Gusto, who's our wing back, Brahim, who's our wide playmaker. He's our sideline winger, if you will. Our playmaker, who's pushed up a little bit more than, of course, Declan Rice, who's our holding, stay back defensive midfielder. Roberto is our box to box. We have got Reeton, who is an inside forward with an attacking focus, which means we have our left back as our attacking wing back to offer lots of width down that left hand side. So this is what it looks like without the ball and what it looks like with the ball. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the balanced one and the formation that you'll be in 80% of the time. The code is going to be on the screen right now. The defensive one is the team tactics, is of course custom 4-3-3 defend. So we changed it to, I think it might be the 4th variation, maybe the 3rd, I'm not too sure. But basically it is 2 CDMs. Now the build up style is counter and the defensive approach is deep. The line height is only 25, so you're a deep defensive approach with a build-up style of counter. So you're going to sit deep and you are going to counter, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have inside forward attack once again. Garcia, instead of being an attacking wingback, is a normal wingback. Gusto, we've reduced from a wingback to a fullback, so a lot more defensive. Declan Rice is of course still our holding midfielder, or your holding CDM is still going to be your holding CDM with a focus set to defend. And then we got our right CDM, and thankfully Zaire-Emery can play CDM, and he's got the perfect role, and this is a very nice role to have as well. For your defensive custom tactics, your right CDM as a deep lying playmaker. The defensive code is on your screen right now. Now the 4-3-3 attack is a 4-3-3 except with the cam. Now the build up style is once again balanced, but the defensive approach is aggressive with a 95 line height. The player role is very similar as always, of course inside forward attack for our inside forward, except it is just genuinely so attacking. So what we've done is our 2 centre mids are both box to boxes. Obviously Declan Rice can also play as a box to box, which is nice. So our 2 centre mids are box to boxes. We have moved Zaire-Emery, or your more attacking cam, if you will, up to cam. And what we've done, and Zaire-Emery can't play as a cam, so his role would be very, very poor. So what I would do is I would have a cam on the bench, and you want this role to be a shadow striker. Very important, a shadow striker, it's a box crasher, better known as in modern slang is a box crasher. So you want a cam for this one, for your 4-3-3 attack, 4th variation, whichever one comes with a cam, of course. Have them as a shadow striker. Now, of course, Zaire Emery, I wouldn't want to be my shadow striker, so I'd sub him off straight away, and I've got James Maddison on my bench who would come on. Otherwise, it's all pretty similar, except for my centre backs are both ball-playing defenders, and both my wing backs are attacking wing backs. So this is obviously just all out. You're a goal down with 5 minutes to go. You will like one through wall and it's over. This is dangerous, and I'd hope that you guys will only be using this attacking formation for under 1% of the time that you use these 4-3-3 presets that I've got for you guys, because this is only when you need a last minute goal and there's 5 minutes left, because with the ball, this is how it looks. You got your wing backs, you basically got 2 wingers, you got your secondary striker, so you kind of got 2 strikers. You got your striker up top, the shadow striker right behind him, 2 box-to-boxes, probably all the defense you're going to get, because your 2 defenders are ball-playing defenders as well. So yes, this is obviously, you're only going to go for this if you are panic station, you need a goal, there's 5 minutes to go. So yeah, of course the defensive you'll be using a good amount, and the attack, as I said, is only there if it's panic stations, and the attacking code is on the screen right now. We are showcasing just a few clips of how this formation works and looks in game. I love this formation, it is very attacking. I've got a very decent record with it in Rivals as well. I think 6 wins, a draw, and a loss so far with it, so I really like this. As I said, it is pretty attacking, so if you're not as comfortable with the balance, you can always play with the defensive and just sit back and counter until you're more comfortable. In this clip here, we especially showcase the importance of having the attacking wingback on the same side as the inside forward. Your inside forward coming central means you lose that player out wide, but the attacking wingback, for me of course being Fran Garcia, replaces that wide player role. So it works so well. That attacking wingback, same side as the inside forward, is the most important and crucial thing in this formation, along with the midfield, I would say. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you enjoy these custom tactics, and let me know down below if you tried them out. I'll see you guys in the next one.